legendary musician and co-founder of Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, has died.
Sometimes people try and deny it, but there's always a little bit of Van Halen rumbling around inside of us. We were the only ones who would play rock music that you could dance to. This record has validated Van Halen in terms of spreading from one group of people to another. Everybody seems to be appreciating Jump.
Sit down, Waldo.
Always had it, always will.
I think that Eddie Van Halen is the greatest rock guitarist of our time.
Archetypic lickety-split gunslinger guitar player.
He's so special and soulful when he plays.
Not just in terms of speed, but how he articulates the notes, his accuracy, his focus. There's a whole lot of emotional content to the way that kid plays.
It's about the only thing that I know how to do. I feel I can express myself with, because I'm not very good with words, so my fingers kind of do the talking.
You might have an image of being crazy guys or whatever, but we're all four individuals. You know, we're all different, but we work together.
Eddie Van Halen died of cancer on Tuesday at the age of 65. His stature and influence on generations of guitarists live on, along with his pushing the limits virtuosity, or as David Lee Roth put it, what a long, great trip it's been.
My whole life has been music. I could not imagine anything else.
Eddie Van Halen started developing serious health issues in the mid-1990s. He nicknamed Van Halen's tour supporting the album Balance the Ambulance Tour because he played through intense hip pain and after delaying replacement surgery for years, finally underwent the procedure in 1999. According to USA Today, Van Halen got a bionic hip because of bone death in the femoral ball part of the hip. Van Halen was also a longtime chain smoker, although in 2015 he switched to vaping. Unfortunately, cancer was found in his mouth in 2000, and a third of his tongue was surgically removed that same year, according to TMZ. The cancer spread to his throat, and while he received a clean bill of health in 2002, he reportedly commuted to Germany for special treatments for years. Interestingly, Van Halen didn't blame his cancer on his years of smoking, telling Billboard, "I used metal picks. They're brass and copper, which I always held in my mouth, in the exact place where I got the tongue cancer. Plus, I basically live in a recording studio that's filled with electromagnetic energy." According to TMZ, in 2020, Van Halen's condition took a turn for the worse. The cancer had returned and spread to his brain. On October 6th, Eddie Van Halen died at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, California. His wife, brother Alex, and son Wolfgang at his bedside. The guitar hero was 65.
From the city that can't forgot, New Orleans. It's All Over the Road, New Orleans, on the All Over the Road Podcast Network.
Now if we set it up, you know we set it up right. So I'ma start by thanking the announcer guy coming from Coin Trader
That's
Studios
me.
and bringing it live. Who am I? I go by the name of
He's
Dark
such a ham.
And Jada
The announcer guy. He's such a ham. It's All Over the Road, New Orleans. People, hallelujah, somebody.
Hallelujah.
I'm Victor Del Giorno. There's no Ted Semper. He's not feeling well, unfortunately, and we hope to get him back soon. Nick Vogel's here, our executive producer. And, of course, our very own Derek from HGTV's Selling the Big Easy. Derek, welcome back to the big show.
It's always good to be here, Vic. Always good to be here.
Yes, indeed. On this show, we're going to play a game. It's called Things I'd Like to Do. So we're going to give that a try. All right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, they don't all work. All right, and we want to talk a little bit about, the show, the success of your television show.
Very successful.
On the last show, I talked about the dream I had when I was in the post-production department. But before we do that, can I just jump into a story? Can I just jump?
It's your show, man.
Let me jump into a story. All right, so I let it out on one of the previous shows. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm supporting Trump in this election. Okay, I made it clear. And
are you going to double down right now?
I'm just scared of the alternative. Yeah. I really am. I don't love Trump. I don't lick his boots or anything. You know, I think he's trying to do a good job. He is what he is. It's just, I mean, you just can't. I just can't go the other way.
He's the orange man.
Yeah, that's just me. So I wanted to get me a little Trump sign to put in my yard. Okay. So
now, is this like a social psychology type of experiment, or is this just
I wanted to put a
show
Trump sign
your
on my line.
support? Okay, go ahead.
So I go to Martha. You know, she's the best guy on the job. You know,
You're number one man on the job. Yeah.
whenever I need something done, I put my best man on the job, and that's Martha, my wife. She's the one I call, and we do the grape soda bit. You all know Martha.
Oh yeah.
So I tell her I want to put a sign. She freaked out. I don't want no freaking sign in my lawn, so people come over here and start egging my house and, you know, start hassling us and all that. Now, I have a sign in my yard. Did you see it there?
I saw it. I saw it when I walked up.
You did?
I did. I was.
Let me tell you something. I kind of did a little, you know, I met her halfway. All right. So what I have, I'm surprised you saw it because you really got to look hard.
It's subtle
to see it. It's a very subtle sign.
Yeah.
It's actually a garden sign.
Not a
you know,
lawn.
got garden signs.
Right.
Not for the lawn.
Put the little flag. You might have a little flag in your garden. The garden. You'll have your little security thing. This is ADT security.
I think the Trump sign's like an ADT security sign, isn't that?
It's very
gun owner lives here.
It's very. It's
a good sign.
We don't call the cops.
It's a subtle sign.
Forget the dog. Beware.
And to be honest with you, I was a little afraid of the mob myself.
When enough decent people rise from their knees and stand down the mob evaporates. These people are not warriors, they are vampires. They melt in the light.
And I got guns and stuff.
Yeah.
I got brass knuckles. I got a taser. I got a couple Louisville sluggers. You know?
Maybe one with a nail in it.
Yeah, I got a slingshot. You know?
Wrist rocket.
I've seen Rambo.
I got all the tools.
I got a knife.
I got the
You got a nunchuck.
Got a nunchuck.
You got katana.
See, I do. But I was a little afraid of the mob, to be honest with you. You know? And, you know, sometimes there's a lot of pressure when you go out to wear this mask. Now, we've been doing this show. We talked about masks at all?
I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
No.
Have we talked about masks?
Have we talked about masks?
I'm positive we've talked about masks
I
at
don't
some
recall us
point.
ever talking about masks. But
At one point, we did a show a day until the virus went away.
I think we wore masks.
And it wore us down
Yeah, all right, well.
so much that
I just
we
had a
stopped
gaff.
doing a show every day because the virus decided to never go away. At one point, they said, hey, it's only going to be here 2 weeks. You just stay inside 2
That's
weeks.
what I thought, yeah.
And then things over with. And now here we are 6 months later, so.
Well, I think I might just had a gaff. Do anybody know what a gaff is?
I know what it was. It a gaffer?
Did we figure out what a gaff was?
You want me? Let me look that up.
Look it up. Look up what it is.
Gaff.
Because everybody's talking about gaffs. We're
Gaff.
taping this show. Of course, it'll be up on YouTube before then, but we're taping the show on September the 29th.
Gaff.
Tonight is the big debate in Cleveland, and Joe Biden's going to be here before he goes to Cleveland. He's going to be on our show. I'm not kidding you.
Now,
a big
Oxford defines gaff as being a noun,
Yeah.
and it is an unintentional act or remark causing embarrassment to its originator.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
A blunder, if you will.
A blunder.
A blunder.
An unforgivable social gaffe.
The former Vice President, Joe Biden. Mr. Vice President, you want to talk about issues, but a lot of people want to talk about your gaffes. You have called yourself a gaffe machine, okay? Do you, in the last few weeks, you've confused New Hampshire for Vermont, said Bobby Kennedy and MLK were assassinated in the late 70s, assured us I'm not going nuts. Follow-up question, are you going nuts?
Look, the reason I came on the Jimmy Kimmel Show is because I'm not.
But anyway, getting back to the masks.
It's a long time. What do you set the over-under at for him making his own gaffe on national television?
I think 15 minutes in, there'll be a gaffe.
Okay.
At least.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, I would take the under of 15. I mean,
You would?
Oh, wow.
I take the under on 15.
It's the first debate. You get the jitters. You know, you get those first debate jitters.
I don't know if he's going to be able to stand up for 90 minutes.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. The president has a big stick.
People are talking today on the news about somebody wanted to take timeouts. Somebody wanted to be able to take a little break. I don't know what's going to come of that, if anything. But
do you think he's in the bathroom
having a little sniff?
I mean, maybe that's why he wanted to take a break. Maybe.
Is that like a nasal decongestant? Is that what that was?
No, it's
he drink California Reds,
the magic dust,
the magic dust. A little bit for Santa Claus,
a little bit for Rudolph, the magic dust. The magic
for the reindeer.
You think maybe if
a little more for the reindeer.
instead of doing timeouts, maybe it should be like a soccer timeout where they just fall on the ground and someone comes and sprays them or something.
The cold
sprays the cold spray.
Or maybe he just wants to have a Jaeger bomb.
Well, there you go.
Some people, a Jaeger bomb will get you right.
Right. Well, I could see Biden doing a Jaeger bomb.
He seems like a Red Bull vodka kind of guy.
I could see Jill doing some Jaeger bombs.
I'm sorry? You
Jill.
can see who? Jill?
Jill Biden?
Very Biden.
Is that his wife?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
that could be your first lady. You have no idea.
I'm so uninformed.
She did some
I thought
interview.
Kamala Harris was going to be the first.
No. She did this interview with somebody on NBC, right? And they were sitting in somebody's front lawn, and she was 30 feet from him. Did you see that shot?
She was 30 feet from her husband?
Yeah, they shot the NBC guy from behind, and then there's Jill, like 30 feet away. And I don't know how old Jill is, but Jill looks pretty good for her age. I'm sure she's in her 70s. I'm sure, But she had the cocoa butter on like Tamron Hall. She had the legs crossed. I don't know, Elizabeth. Do you know the girls that can cross their legs and then they can hook them?
Yeah, like around and then around.
They do a cross. It's like a pretzel. Yeah. They do the leg cross and then they hook them at the end. Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to cross your legs.
Yeah.
But then to cross them and wrap it around that
double wrap. Yeah.
Do the wrap. Can you do that, Elizabeth?
I've never tried to do that.
You don't never tried to do that? I've tried. It's hard. And if you do it, you might. Okay. Well, anyway, so she was doing that, and they were talking to her, and I was going, look at this woman with the thing. Anyway, getting back to the masks. Where I'm going today.
Off the rails. I love it. That was probably the most anyone's ever talked about Joe Biden.
Well, he's going to be on the show here in a few minutes.
Jill.
Oh, Jill. No, yeah. Jill. I like Jill. Jill should be running. Jill would get more votes. I'm telling you, I think Jill would have a chance. And I think she's a doctor, isn't she?
He didn't even know who she was.
Jill Biden.
I didn't know. No,
that's what I'm saying. He didn't know.
She was the one. Remember, he did something. He was going to say. He was going to do a moonwalk.
I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. Okay.
Is Ralph Nader still in there?
Do you remember when Biden was going to do the moonwalk? He had some kind of interview. He was going to do a moonwalk, and Jill just whisked him off the stage. Oh, you ain't doing that.
No,
she grabbed him by the collar and whipped him off. He was about ready to do a moonwalk.
Was that after he was whispering into some random woman's ear?
Remember when he was on stage? Remember when he was smelling? What's her name? What's her name? Or what's
There's
his
so
name?
many instances of it.
Bruce Jenner. What's his name now?
Caitlyn.
And he came up behind Caitlyn and smelled her and said, "This one smells a little different."
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
All right, before we talk a little, I want to talk a little bit more about masks. But before we do that,
man,
there was a
what you're gonna say.
There was a statistic. One of these statistics, I sent it to you, Derek, and also to you, Nick. It was published by the CDC. It was the coronavirus survival rates.
That was an alarming stat that you sent us. Yeah, you want to get a close up on your phone there?
Well, I mean, you can. Whatever, you can put it up on the screen.
It made me feel better about the situation.
Well, if I put it here, can I read it? Okay. Well, I can't.
No, it's fine.
Well, this is it. It's on my phone, but here, I'll read it.
It's fine. Where'd you get this from? Is this from your
the CDC?
Cite your source, though.
The CDC, the Central Disease Control.
The Center of Disease
Control. But you got that via like Fox News?
Yeah, it was on Fox News.
Okay, well, I mean.
But it's from the CDC.
That's not my position.
It's from the CDC.
I mean, I just said Fox News.
What do you think? They lied about this?
I don't know, man. I don't trust the media, man.
It's against the law to lie on the news, man. Don't you know that?
Well, I think you can trust this. This makes perfect sense. All right, so here it is. Here's the rundown. Let me zoom in on it. This is the rundown. All right, if you're 0 to 19, this is called the survival rate. These are people that get the coronavirus. They get it.
Yeah.
They got it. All right?
Contracted.
They've contracted it.
Okay.
They got what do they call it? A droplet. A droplet hit them before you know it. They're pregnant. They're pregnant and they got coronavirus.
That's how it works.
Derek?
That's how I heard it with the birds and bees combo years ago.
You get that
spores.
You get a droplet and you're immediately pregnant and you have coronavirus.
So you will get herpes and you will die.
Yes.
That's not my position.
Yes. And you'll notice a rash of some sort. You'll notice a rash. A little rash comes with it. if you get it.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You were saying?
You're egging me on. And it just, this is how we started, Derek. With just me and Nick.
With a rash?
Yeah, with a rash. And then me and Nick.
It all started with a rash.
So,
I got a rash, man.
For sure.
Want to do a show?
For sure. And Clubman does make a product for that, by the way. For a rash. They do.
Is it just
they make a product.
Talcum powder?
Irrational.
Yes. All right, so if you're 0 to 19 years old and you get the coronavirus, you have a 99.997 chance of recovering.
That's
you're
high.
0 to 19. Okay, that's
pretty high.
You're a young
Solid.
person.
It's a solid
Pretty
number.
high. Now, I'm not in that number, so that's irrelevant to me.
Well, none of us are in that number.
Okay.
You're 19.
What's the
you're-
next group?
You're full of piss and vinegar. You're on Bumble.
That's not my position.
Okay.
Snapchat.
You're on Bumble.
You're TikToking.
You're TikToking away.
You're doing your dance moves.
You're 99.
You contract the virus. Next thing you know,
0.997.
2 weeks later, you're fine. Nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
But you're still pregnant.
You got a little drip.
You might get a little rhea. Who's the guy that we had on? He was calling it diarrhea. Remember the guy?
Diarrhea,
The guy we
yeah.
had on the show, and he was referring to it as diarrhea.
He
You get a
said
little
di-
diarrhea.
He said diarrhea
Like
about
50
6 times. Yeah, or more throughout the interview. Diarrhea.
He kept saying diarrhea.
And he's supposed to be a health expert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guy, you're saying diarrhea.
Dude, it's diarrhea.
What is it, Dr. Nick from The Simpsons? Hey, everybody.
That's not my position.
All right, you're 0 to 19. We're going to get back to the masks in a minute.
Absolutely.
Don't let me forget, because I got that story.
I'm holding on.
Okay.
Be,
All
sure,
right,
be
so
sure not to scratch that.
You're 0 to 9. Well, what happens is it itches, but you can't scratch it because it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had that? Something that itches, but you can't scratch it because it hurts. It hurts too. It's a prickly itch. It's very prickly. All right. 20 to 49.
Cool contrast.
This is 20 to 49.
This is my demo.
Yeah, this is us.
This is you two. Me too. I'm kind of in there. Nah. All right, 20 to 49 years old. You have a 99.98% chance of recovering.
Ooh.
0.02.
Still,
0.02.
wait, it's 99?
I think we should all stay inside for another 6 months.
That's not my position.
Shut it down.
Shut it down!
John Taffer, shut it down.
Shut her down! Look at my face. Shut her down!
That's it. This is disgusting. Shut it down.
Shut her down!
That's my John Taffer. That's every episode of Bar Rescue in a nutshell.
Yeah. I'm not eating this crap.
I've seen enough. Shut it
You're
down.
gonna kill somebody. Oh man. Okay, so 20 to 49. That's 99.98. What are you following me, Derek, over there with your cream soda?
I have my calculator out. Things are still
Okay.
looking good right now.
All right, now here are the demos. Now we're getting to the upper demos. Okay, 50 to 69.
Okay.
That's the Vic demo.
Yeah,
I'm,
I mean,
I'm
that's
50 to 69.
That's
All
my
right?
parents too. Yeah, I mean that's our parents.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
You have
worried.
a-
Hey, I'm concerned about my parents.
Okay, well, if one of them does happen to get it, and they get the rash, and they get the prickly itch, and all that kind of stuff, they get
Yeah.
the full boat.
Yeah.
They have a 99.5% chance of surviving.
Still pretty good. Okay.
So 0.5%.
Now,
chance
what
of
about what's the next one?
70 plus?
Oh, that's a
big gap. So
I mean,
that could be
this is
anywhere.
going to be a big drop off right now. I can feel it.
All
Right.
right. So what do you think? What would be your guess?
I'm sorry,
Nick?
we were 99.
You
talking about
your
last
group?
one? No, the last
50
one. you
to
said.
69 was 99.5. So now we got 70
I mean,
plus.
I'm thinking for some reason we're still in that 99% somewhere. 99%?
No, you're wrong.
95%.
What's your guess, Derek? Whose phone is that? Who is that? It's an unknown name.
That was me.
It's okay.
I
Dude, we
apologize.
got calling you, Nick. We're doing a show.
It's connected to my laptop.
Tell these
I
unknown
apologize.
people.
It was an unknown name.
Okay.
Unknown name, unknown number.
You're listening to All Over the Road New Orleans on the All Over the Road New Orleans Podcast Network. I'm Victor Del Giorno with Nick Vogel, executive producer, and Derek from HGTV, selling the Big Easy. Had to throw that in there. Teddy's not here. Teddy's not feeling well. Godspeed, Teddy. It just doesn't seem right without Teddy here.
It doesn't. Actually,
No.
he still left his chair open over
I
here.
know. It's sad.
Yeah, pour one out for our homie.
sad.
That's where Teddy would sit, right there.
Right there.
He would sit right over there. Right over there.
Right
Well,
there.
you can see it. You can see the mic right there next,
Right next to
to
Derek.
Right next to Derek.
Out of respect, we left it open.
We left it open.
Yes.
But we left the microphone up,
Yeah.
just so.
Don't forget, we got T-shirts and stickers. One of you 3,000 or so followers on Facebook. If you want to, just let us know. We'll send you one.
You send the screenshot that you subscribe to the show via podcast. However you listen to a podcast, you get a free shirt.
Yeah. Just
And
give
a
us the
sticker.
address. We'll send it to you. In the mail. U.S. Postal. Along with your ballot. Okay? With your ballot. All right, so what was your guess for 70 plus? Nick said, where were you at?
I'm going to say 95%.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to go 99.3. It seems like 0.2 was the drop-off. That was the drop-off per the demographic.
Well, it's actually 94.6%.
Oh, come on. This is...
So you have, roughly a 5% chance if you're 7. So even if you're 70 plus, you only have a 5% chance, and you got to be pretty much sickly. I mean, if you're healthy, 70-year-olds. I mean, I know 70-year-olds that do half marathons and do Ironmans and all that stuff.
Your father-in-law, who's 86?
86.
Came and brought me a lawnmower yesterday.
Oh, he's a freaking beast.
And gets to my house before I can set the baby down, get outside to help him unload a lawnmower. He pulls the lawnmower out of his car by himself, sits on the ground. You know, what can't he do?
He's 86.
What can't he do?
I had to change a flat tire one time. I didn't even use a jack. He just picked up the back of the car and I changed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's a freaking true
It truly
story.
is. It truly is.
It's a true story, damn it.
That's not my position.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. Mind your money.
Time for the Cajun Declassified Hurricane Survival Guide. All the things you're gonna need to stay alive during a major hurricane. You're gonna wanna get you a pair of Cajun Reeboks. This is gonna help if your electricity goes out and you gotta go get the generator when your wife's on the phone with Slimco, or if your neighbor's trampoline flies into your yard. Either way, you're gonna be prepared. Now the next thing you're gonna need is a pack of playing cards, and preferably a Crown Royal bag of quarters, because Momo, Popo, your aunts, your uncles, and your mama and daddy, they're gonna wanna play some bourrée, and you gotta be ready to bust that ass. Toilet paper. This one should be self-explanatory. Nobody's trying to smell your dirty butt cheeks during this hurricane. So last but for damn sure not least, get your favorite flavor of beer and hunker down, because for the next couple of days, we all gonna get cassé. And here's one last thing we like to say in Louisiana. If it's got a note, let it float. But really, y'all, everybody be safe. See y'all after the storm.
Now playing podcast All Over the Road, New Orleans.
As if Americans weren't already divided enough, we now have a new trend called mask shaming. The Centers for Disease Control recommends that Americans wear a mask in order to avoid getting infected amid the pandemic. However, some people have decided that if you do that, you're a big sissy.
Why do we gotta wear a mask? Okay, so now
why is there no standard on masks? It's like at first it was like the N95 mask. Then it's like now people are just wearing a piece of cloth that they found around the house, or an old book sock. You know, they're strapping it on their face, or an old clean pair of underwear. Like I don't know, I don't get it anymore. You saw John Gruden this week. He had like his mask on Monday Night Football or whatever heck night they played football. The mask like up on his face. It's incredible.
Apparently, to some people, wearing a mask is a political statement. However, in other parts of the country, you can be chased out of a grocery store for not wearing a mask.
You know, I've seen people in public like yell at a person, "You're not wearing a mask," and people get all
mask
freaked
shaming.
Out. Yeah,
it's a real
mask
thing.
Shaming.
Yeah, you're not wearing. Yeah. You don't care about people.
Polls show that the decision of whether or not to wear a mask is linked to one's political ideology. This is in the context of Republicans and Trump supporters who desperately want the economy to open up once again, despite health warnings to the contrary.
And then you talked about the walk of shame. Tell
Absolutely.
me about that, Derek.
No,
What's the walk of shame?
Well, I told you that was a different story I was telling you about the walk of shame. But this other story, though, that I have associated.
Define the walk of shame.
The walk of shame. The 2020 walk of shame. You leave your car, you walk up into a store, you realize, I forgot my mask.
Yep.
Turn around, go back, and you go, yeah, absolutely. You got to go back and pick it up. And other people, they're just staring. And you think, oh, they're judging. They've all done the same thing.
Yeah,
they've all done the
true.
same. And it happened to me here, right around the corner here in the good old Lakeview area. Walked into Walgreens, solid pharmacy, by the way. Let's just get down to it. I mean, you have a prescription need to be filled, they'll fill it.
15 minutes. You got 15 minutes?
I might.
They do it fast, huh?
I might.
That's
So,
a switch.
I walked into Walgreens. This is at like 7:45 in the morning. There's nobody in the store when I walked in. There's a nice lady behind the counter. We make eye contact.
Behind the plexiglass.
Behind the plexiglass. That's just bulletproof looking thing. It's coronavirus proof because But we made eye contact. I waved. She waved. I made it to about aisle 4, I'd say. And then over the loudspeaker, she goes, "Just as a reminder to all of our guests,
do it.
We are required to be wearing our facial coverings." And I was like, oh, "That's so that's me."
I just said hi to you.
I take back my wave.
Please,
I'm walking all the way back out to my car.
Please make a note of it.
Can I buy
So
these
you're walking
Nutter
around
Butters?
no mask, and they made an announcement just for you.
Yeah, just for me. Nobody in the store. I mean, it was one of those. It could have just been oh, hey, by the way, you need a... But she bypassed that conversation, went to the loudspeaker, and you know what? It made for an awkward
Attention.
checkout at the line, though.
Violation.
You must wear a mask.
Violation.
And please maintain social distancing. That's 6 feet. Thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't get tackled. They got this one, guy type at the Walgreens
guy type?
on Bonneville. Yeah. If he could tackle you. He could tackle you. He might break a nail, but he'll tackle you. He might break a nail, but he'll tackle you. You figure it out. It's not that hard to figure out. All right, so why didn't you have a mask on? What were you doing going in the Walgreens without a mask? What was the
It was
deal?
7:45 in the morning.
It was early.
I
That's
wasn't
early.
thinking. Coronavirus was still asleep at the time.
Well, where were you
I
going?
was
Where
saying.
were you going? Where were you going? What were you doing over there?
Oh, I had a rash and I had to go pick up the
Some ointment.
I had to pick up some ointment.
salve.
It was early in the morning. I was actually going to pick up a little brace because I was heading over to the gym and I forgot mine. So I was like, you know what?
Little
Let's just
back
pick one up.
brace?
You're
Yeah.
going to the gym. You look like you're a little pumped up, like you got in a little. What are you doing? You lifting some weights over there?
No. I
Just strictly elliptical.
I'm mainly just listening to All Over the Road podcasts. while
shout
walking
out.
very
Oh, you're one of the
slowly.
gym guys that's on his phone the whole time.
Right, the whole time.
You're sitting on the bench.
People
There's
are-
never a bench.
People are like, can I get in? And I'm like, I'm doing a
I'm
thing.
catching up
here.
on HGTV selling the Big Easy right now.
Could you please
Do
notice
you recognize me?
I'm Derek. Can you notice me?
You made eye
Please.
contact, so clearly you must know who I am. I'm calling everybody.
I'm just trying to work in here, man.
So now in that parking lot, isn't there like 3 different gyms? Are there 3?
I think there's 2.
Yeah.
But that's
One's the Goodwill. So
it's kind of right. That's the other one,
The Goodwill.
which is of a gym of itself. It's kind of like the Titanic over there. Really, you got the people
gotta
who go
lug
to
your-
one gym.
You gotta lug your crap into Goodwill.
But you got one gym that those are the people that would have survived the Titanic, and then you have the gym I go to, which was the bottom of the boat.
They stuck you in the little freaking dinghy. They stuck you in the
Women
dinghy.
and children.
Women and children and Derek first. Chest hairs first. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you're a member of any time.
I am a member of any time. They great. They did a fantastic job of reopening during the COVID pandemic.
Okay.
I will give them.
They were
kudos for
early.
that. They were early.
Okay, that's great.
They were early.
I'm proud of that.
Absolutely.
Now the other gym in there is the Parks. That's the fancy schmancy place.
Yeah, they do an ocular credit check on me when I try to walk by, and they're like, "I'm sorry, sir."
Like, do you make over $250,000 a year?
Keep walking.
Are you going to be able to give to the Winter Fund?
They have a
Because if not-
Smoothie King connected to that one. It's like they were so pretentious over there. They're like, I actually don't want to walk outside and walk into a Smoothie King. I just like to walk right into one.
That seems like a place you got to like pay extra for towels or something like that.
Well, I used to be a member of the Parks.
You got to pay for
For the one that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
the Parks for a short period of time because I just moved back here from Houston, your hometown, and was looking for something to replace Lifetime Fitness, which there's no replacement for.
Not here. Yeah.
So I joined Parks, and because at that time it was 24 hours, the Parks, which it no longer is, and they had a sauna and a steam room, then a men's locker room, and everything. And what I found out about the men's locker room that made me actually quit the club is they have showers, but they have these little silhouette glass things. So you walk by, you see some guy in there in the shower, like a silhouette of him, like washing.
Just hanging dong.
Oh man, I mean, it was
Wow.
man.
You
It's a
usually
little
have
graphic.
to pay double for that, and that's crazy.
You got to pay double for that kind of action. Cotton.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Live from New Orleans. It's All Over the Road, New Orleans. It's time to play with Joe Biden. I'd like to do that. Here he is from the Coin Trader Studios in New Orleans. Presidential candidate 2020, Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
All right, Joe. Thanks for being with us. All right, now here's what we're gonna do, Joe. All right, we're gonna all mention some things that we would like to do, and then we would like to get your response to that. Okay? So let's start off with Derek. Derek, why don't you give Joe something that you would like to do?
Something I like to do.
Something that you would like to do. I mean, he's got to get going because he does have to catch a plane to Cleveland because he's
a very busy man.
We're
Absolutely.
taping this the night of the first debate,
Right.
the 29th.
I'd like to just make it through a shower without crying one time. That would be kind of nice. That would be. Is that possible?
I'm the guy, man. You take a shower with me. You're showering with me, Joe Biden. Come on, man.
Water conservation.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I had no idea that our former vice president was.
And you can't do that, man. You can't do that. Nick, you got anything that you'd like to go with President candidate Biden? Was something you'd like to do? What would you like to do?
I'd like to go to the movies again and sit next to a complete stranger because.
Come on, man. Are you stupid? Are you stupid, man? You can go to the movies now. I don't know if you know that. You can go to the movies.
Oh, I can?
I'm the guy. I opened up the theaters.
You opened them?
Yeah, stupid.
I feel dumb.
You should. Come on, man.
I don't know about your approach, Mr. Biden.
He's very aggressive. A whole lot more aggressive than you would think.
You're beating me down over here.
It's a gap. Do you have another one, Derek?
I'm just
for
thinking,
Mr. Biden?
we had a previous vice president that invented the internet. Now we have one that single-handedly reopened theaters. I'm impressed. We had...
Come on, man. I gotta catch a plane. You got another one? I'm the guy.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy that knows the guy. That's the guy.
Right.
Which makes me the guy.
Right.
I'm your guy.
Right. How about Walmart? Can they open up the other door? I kind of want the other door.
No, you're not black, man.
I'm just saying. What?
You're not black.
What are you talking about?
I'm the man.
These are just very matter-of-fact
I went to Delaware State.
Is that where Joe Flacco went?
No.
Oh.
He went to the University of Delaware.
Oh.
That's the Blue
Sorry,
Hens.
I'm sorry.
You have been listening to I'd Like to Do That with Joe Biden on All Over the Road, New Orleans.
You know what I'd like to do?
What would you like to do? Is that a bad bit? Is that a bad bit?
It was just a lot.
Stupid. I'm the guy. He's the guy. No, really, he actually spoke.
There was a thing where he was going,
"Come on, man." No, he was speaking to a group of people just recently, Joe Biden. And he was talking about how he went to Delaware State. And he goes, "No, don't make any Delaware State. No, Delaware State's kind of like a predominantly black small college."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come to find out, he never went to. He goes, "I started at Delaware State." He never went to Delaware State. He did a commencement announcement in 2006.
Wow.
He'd never gone. And Delaware State came and said, "This guy never went to school here."
They
It's
pulled
like
his
me and
transcripts.
Rutgers. It's like me and Rutgers.
They pulled his transcripts and they said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Biden, but it's like for the year 2006, we just had you do a guest appearance."
What are we talking about?
All right, Derek.
We paid you a lot of
I was
money.
thinking he would have just been a senator at the time. He wasn't even a vice president then.
All right, real quick. Selling the Big Easy on HGTV. It's on 8 o'clock Central.
A
every
great
week.
time slot.
It's a fantastic time
They
slot.
got you prime time there, Friday night. You know, it's pizza night.
6 o'clock on the West Coast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, out of the 6 shows that have already aired, how many of your houses have they picked?
I think I want to say like 4, maybe.
So
I wanna say
leading.
4.
You're leading
Oh,
this.
yeah.
You're leading in the
Yeah,
house.
but I'm definitely I'm in the clubhouse on top of the leaderboard right now. It's pretty good. It's good to be me, is what I'm saying. It's pretty good.
And you're selling houses too, right? I mean,
selling
it's
lots of them.
crazy.
It's insane. This year's been insane. I will say this: pandemics suck unless you sell real estate. I'm just gonna say.
Wow.
It's just that's the line. So, I mean, that's what all the billboards say right now. It's
The pandemic been very good to me.
Okay.
The pandemic been very good to me.
Thank you, Raj.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Well, it's been a big, huge success. We're really happy for you. The ratings have been fantastic, and we appreciate
Tune in
you.
Fridays at, what did we say?
8 p.m.
8
Central.
Central. 9
Yeah.
o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
On the
6 o'clock
HGTV.
on the West Coast on HGTV. It's Selling the Big Easy, and it is an awesome show. And it's with our very own Derek, who we've seen rise from rags to riches. We have.
Truly.
And we've also seen his chest hairs get to a pretty substantial girth.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. I'm getting split ends though. Split ends. I don't know what to do about it.
You got to trim them.
Split
You got to
ends on
trim
his
them, and
chest
then they
hair.
grow
Is
back.
rags to riches? Is that any time to parks now? Is that what that's a moving on up?
That's a certain time slot,
Right.
during the day that they let the pores in.
And you know what? Sometimes dreams do come true. Dreams do come true. And my little dream in the last show where I was with the actual editors in Hollywood, who knows? They might, start giving you a little bit more FaceTime. We like Derek. I like all three of them. I like Joel. I like the whole staff.
Good show.
It's a solid crew.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And thank you to your smoking hot wife, Elizabeth, for coming in and keeping an eye on Boo Boo. Thank you, Elizabeth.
I can't thank her enough.
She's fantastic.
It was her birthday recently. Happy birthday shout out.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, sweetie.
Don't forget to share the show when you hear the podcast, and check us out on YouTube
Yeah,
and Instagram.
send us a screenshot to either Facebook or Instagram that you subscribe to the podcast, and we will send you a free T-shirt with the logo and a sticker, and you're going to want it. It's nice. Really nice.
And you will join the cast of thousands that are following the show. Thank you very much for listening to All Over the Road, New Orleans, baby. Jay Dizzle's going to take us out.
Stand back and stand by, but I'll tell you what, somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
Now if we set it up, you know we set it up right. So I'ma start by thanking the announcer guy. Coming from Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So let's see what kind of stories that we got on hand. Checking the cards and letters from the adoring fans.
See, because the Proud Boys have been in action. We don't work for Trump. We're not on Trump's payroll. He's not our benefactor. We work for America, and we do it for no pay. It's all voluntary. That's why the left hates the Proud Boys so much, because nobody controls us. We're completely free and independent, and that's something that you all don't like. So yeah, we will stand by, and we will stand back, and we will stand up for America. But the one thing the Proud Boys won't do is stand down. As long as there's a threat to America from the inside from these leftists, we will not stand down. We will stand back and let the election happen. We will stand by until people need to be defended, and we will always stand up for America. It's Trump 2020, but it's America always.
How many push-ups you want to do here, pal? Oh, come on, man. Why the hell would I take a test?
All Over the Road is a presentation of Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.